Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, if you caught Newsnight pretty much any night last week, you'll know we've taken a keen interest in the progress, or lack of it, of a report by MPs into the use of UK arms by Saudi Arabia in the Yemen conflict. Last Tuesday, Gabriel Gatehouse obtained a draft of the report which was highly critical of the Saudis. It found that it was, quote, inevitable that British weapons had been involved in violations of international law, and that arms sales to Saudi were very possibly in contravention of the UK's legal obligations. The report called for arms sales to Saudi Arabia to be stopped immediately, but some MPs had other ideas. A second leak revealed how two pro-Saudi MPs were attempting to water down the report. Here's how the report would change if amendments tabled by John Speller and Crispin Blunt, the influential chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, were adopted. Well, last Thursday, Crispin Blunt came on to Newsnight to explain why he was trying to dilute the report. I also asked him if he'd walked out of the committee in order to freeze its work after he failed to get his way. Did you walk out the meeting last night?
That betrays a misunderstanding of how this particular
Did you walk out?
Collection of four committees works.
There wasn't a vote, though, was there?
Whatever comes out of this particular, of the oversight of arms export control committees is...
Did you walk out last night, Crispin Blunt?
Could you let me...
Did you walk out the committee?
I am not going to talk about a committee process that is still under consideration.
Now, our political editor, Nick Watt, has new revelations over the lengths Crispin Blunt has gone on, you to say, or might say not, blunt the report.
Yes, well, in a few words, Crispin Blunt is not giving up. He's written what is described as an extraordinary email to the members of the four select committees that provide the sort of the feeder members to that Arms Export Controls Committee. And essentially, he is acknowledging that he's not going to get the numbers for what he wants, soften the criticism of Saudi Arabia and pull back from a ban on arms sales to the kingdom. And he's writing what he's describing as an alternative report, and he is planning to put that to the committee he chairs, the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, tomorrow afternoon, and he's essentially going to say to the members of that committee, let's agree to this, and sort of tack it on the end of the committee report where he's not going to get his way. Now, he may get it just about past his committee, but he certainly wouldn't get unanimous agreement for that.
And that's not all he's talking about.
That's right. In the email that he sent, he's also saying that the Arms Export Control Committee, that has those four committees on it, Defence, Foreign Affairs, International Development and the Business Committee, is not working. And he's essentially saying there should be one select committee that does that work. And that not his, actually. No, he's a selfless sort of chap. He's saying it should be the new select committee that will shadow the new work of Liam Fox's International Trade Department. Now, the members of that committee, if they're fans of that department, may think that the most important thing is to look at the number of exports rather than ethical questions about arms sales to Saudi Arabia. Now, this evening I spoke to Crispin Blunt, and this is what he told me. I have no comment on the private proceedings of my select committee or other select committees. When we are in a position to say something publicly, then, of course, I'd be happy to do so.
Nick, thanks very much indeed.